Hello, people. Good day to you all. Now, today's discussion would be on a referral letter. Now, if you have a referral letter with multiple dates, and if you're writing it to a known person, like to a family doctor, or maybe to a known GP, to whomever you're writing, if it's a known person, a mutual patient of yours and the target reader, in those scenarios, if there are multiple events and multiple dates, how would you formulate your paragraphs? How would you pick up the information? Now, how will you understand what information is required? That's very important. Now, if you really want to score grade B in this and you really want to understand how to pick up these relevant information, then you need to keep certain things in your mind. I'll just discuss those things with you. I want you to pay attention. Those who want to take notes, they can definitely take notes. First of all, how to read a question paper. When a question paper is given, how to read it. How to read a question paper. Now, please understand this. This method will help you to understand what is your position in the letter, who is the patient, what is the purpose of this letter, and who is your target reader. What you need to do is how to read the question. The first thing, you will read the first 5 to 6 lines of your question paper. First 5 to 6 line of your question paper. If you go and see in the question paper, the first 3 lines will tell you what is the scenario. Then if you read further 4 to 5 lines, you will understand who is the patient, what's his age, what's his diagnosis. Well, most commonly, 80% of the times you will see in the first 5 lines itself, patient's name, diagnosis, and your position, which scenario, from which scenario you're writing this letter, that would be there. Second thing, go to the last event or the last data which is given in the case note along with task. Along with that, go for the task as well, along with writing task. That is the question. The question, write a letter of reference to so and so person. The address would be given. Read that task. Now, by doing this, by reading the first 5 lines, you will understand who is your patient, what is the prime diagnosis. By reading the last 5 lines or the last event, you will understand what is the current situation. Then you would be really sure that whatever diagnosis, the prime diagnosis, what I've taken, is that correct or not? Because sometimes reading the first part of the letter and making sure that this can be my prime diagnosis would be difficult. But reading the last event, you will get a clear picture. What's your current situation? What is the patient's current situation? What kind of treatment is going on? What is this current scenario? And for what disease conditions we need this referral letter to be written. This has to be very clear. So this way, if you read, this will give you a clear picture what kind of information needs to be added for any referral letters or any discharge letters, whatever letter it is. Okay, now, one more key information which I wish to discuss over here is when you're writing it to a family doctor. Now, please understand, this is a key point to understand. There may be multiple events, multiple dates given. You should not be scared by seeing a lot of dates together. Most of the people do find difficult when they see 10, 12 dates. They feel really difficult. How will I summarize those information? Keep yourself calm. Read the first 5 lines. Go to the last event. Read the task. Understand who is your target reader. When you understand, okay, I'm writing it to my family patient's family doctor. One thing you should be very clear: no background. Patient, any background of the patient, any past visit to the hospital, nothing as such is required. Keep this in your mind very clear when you're writing it to a family doctor. Second thing, find out when was the last visit paid to the family doctor. Paid to the family doctor. This will make you clear wherever or whichever date you find which was the last visit to the family doctor. Till there, no information is needed. You can be very clear with that. From that event, from the last visit, what all information is unknown to the family doctor, you will take only those kind of information. I would like to share one question paper over here at this point so that I can show you that kind of letter and how to formulate this kind of letters. That is something you need to understand. I'll share the letter on the screen. You all can see it. This is the letter I wish to discuss. Okay. Now, understand in this scenario, you can see this was an examination paper, previous examination paper for OET. Now, the patient's name, if you read the first three lines, you will understand you're a school nurse at Newton High School. So you are clear with your position. Over here, you'll also get the patient's name and age. And directly, if you move on to the last event and you read the last scenario and the task, you will understand. See over here, you can say 4/2/2018, and there are certain details given about the patient. So you will understand the current scenario is patient has got increased symptoms of difficulty swallowing, hot flushes. Patient has increased serotype, asthma attack has increased, asthma events have increased. And then you can see in the evaluation, patient has increased anxiety, poor asthma management, self-medicating serotype above prescribed dose, increased risk of asthma. Refer to doctor for urgent assessment and management, including review of Prozac. By reading my last event, I got to know, okay, I'm writing this letter because patient has got issues with Prozac. Okay. Now, if the question, if you see in this scenario, if you see the question, you'll understand using information in the case notes, write a referral letter to the student's family doctor, Dr. Lord, for assessment and management of Miss Mark's worsening anxiety and asthma. So we are writing it to a family doctor. Now, when this kind of letter comes into picture, what should you do? Now you can see a lot of dates, 1, 2, 3. There are 4 dates over here, 7, 8, 9 dates over here. 9 plus on the first page, you can see 2 more dates. Total 11 plus 2 last dates, total 14 dates are given in this letter. Any candidate who go through this kind of letter will get confused what all information I should take from this letter. Now, when you get this kind of letter, understand first of all, see if there is any today's date mentioned, any separate event or date mentioned in this letter. You will see there is 4/2/2018, and my last event is also 4/2/2018. Then you need to find from the letter when was the last visit made to the family doctor. Now, medical history, nothing would be important because in the first 3 lines you can see she has been referred by her doctor for ongoing management. That's a family doctor has referred this patient to you for a management of asthma and anxiety. You were managing the patient. Now there is a situation where the patient cannot be managed and you are sending back the patient to the same family doctor. So we don't need anything about the history. Now, if you go through this letter, at the end of the letter, this second page, you can see consulted GP. GP is always family doctor. If you're writing a family doctor and you see in the previous data, patient has consulted GP, consider it always as family doctor. Now, consulted GP on 4th January, commence Prozac 20 mg per day. Okay, so this was the last visit paid to the family doctor. Okay, so after the Prozac was started, you can see 28/1/2018, patient progress, student reports feeling worse she ever felt, irritable, crying a lot, insomnia, claims Prozac is not working. So this is the initial event, which can be your second paragraph. This is not an emergency letter, so it's not required that second paragraph should always be about the recent events. It's a myth, guys. Please understand, OET never supports any fixed structure. OET never supports that you have to have these words, you have to have this structure. No. Proper English, if you are able to structure it properly, formulate it properly, and place the information where it is required, you definitely get your score. There is no fixed structure, so don't run behind that. There is no framework. Many people encourage frameworks. Don't go into frameworks. Just make sure write it as simple as possible. You should be able to convey the problem, whatever is mentioned in this case note. You should be able to convey that to the target reader. That's all is required. So this 28/1/2018 becomes your initial paragraph. That is your second paragraph. Your third paragraph becomes your 4/2/2018. That is student reports just survival exam, final exam in 10 days, anxiety, and whatever problem. So this is initial, this is recent. This becomes your second paragraph. This becomes your third, and your action plan is your fourth. 4/2/2018 evaluation can be combined together and formulate your third paragraph. Then comes your action plan. That's your future. Please understand this, guys. When you are writing any referral letters to family doctor, find out, don't get scared by looking at all the events given. There may be 10, there may be 15 events. Everything is not necessary. You need to understand when was the last visit. Till then, till that last visit, everything has been informed to the GP. GP would be aware about that. We don't need those informations. This is something you need to be very clear in your mind when you are writing any referral letters, guys. Okay. Now have an initial thing. Plan yourself when the 5 minutes has been given to you. The initial 5 minutes to plan about the letter. Make sure you plan wise. You see that what information would be required, what information I need to place at which location or which paragraph, I need to place that information accordingly, be very sure about it and plan it. I'm pretty sure this lecture would benefit you in writing to any family doctors. If you want the question papers to practice, I'll put it in the link. You can just go through it. You can even try it. And if you want to send your letter for assessment, I can even help you with that. For any other queries, any help you need in training for OET, you can definitely contact me in the link. I would be providing my contact number, my phone number. You can ping me directly and I'll be there to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a great day. Bye-bye, guys.